Hi, Matt with Etrailer. If you have a 2024 Nissan Kicks and you're looking for something that's going to be able to get you through those moderate snow and ice conditions, and you want something that's going to be a really easy installation process, then the Konig assisted tensioning tire chains are going to be a great option for you. So let's check them out. And we're going to have this on tire size 205, 55, R17. Now these will fit a variety of other sizes. That's just the size we have today. And we're going to have this on our front axle is what the manual recommends. Now if you're not sure if this is going to fit your vehicle, you can actually plug in your vehicle's information into our fit guide to find the right one for you. And we are going to have these square links. And what's great about these square links is that they're going to have this hard edge. That hard edge is going to be great for biting through moderate snow and ice conditions. On top of that, they are going to be made out of a nickel manganese alloy steel, and what that means is they're going to be more rust resistant and very durable, so they're going to last you a long time. On top of that, we're going to have this diamond pattern design. So with the diamond pattern, this is going to give you more surface area on the tire, which in turn is going to give you more traction, and especially when you are making those turns. And then if we look back here, you'll notice how much space we have. We do have a decent amount of space, and that's going to be thanks to this being Class S chains. And that's something you're going to really need for the Kicks, because if you look over here, this isn't much room to work with. So having a tight fit is also going to help. And part of the reason why we have a good tight fit today is if we look at the very front of our chains, you notice we have this assisted tensioner right here. So what this is doing is we're just grabbing this rubber area right here that is stretching. So when you are driving around, if these were to loosen up, then this is going to help accommodate for any of that slack that does come up from that. And this is going to come in a kit of 2 chains in this very compact case. And I like this case because it's not going to take up much room. Something I wish the case did have was some sort of divider in here so your chains don't get tangled up. But using these a lot, I haven't really had any issues of them getting tangled up too much. So that is one of the plus sides of this. Now, when you're done, you just close it up and easily store this in the back of your vehicle. In my opinion, I think this is going to be a really solid choice if you're looking for some chains to get you through those moderate snow and ice conditions. They're going to be very affordable, they're going to do a good job at holding your chains down into place, and they're just really easy to work with. Now, if you're looking at another set because maybe kneeling down on the ground is still pretty tough for you, then I'd recommend checking out the Konig Easy Fit Tire Chains. Because a lot of times you can actually do that from the standing up position, so you don't even have to kneel down in the snow. Definitely a big plus, but those will be at a more premium price range. So it's just going to depend on what your needs are. And the good thing about those are actually technically a self-tensioning tire chain. So with a self-tensioning tire chain, you're just going to have a little bit more peace of mind, even though I think we still get a really good fit with this rubber tensioner. Now, if you are curious to see what this installation looks like, just stay tuned and we'll walk you through the process. To begin our installation, I like to lay out my chains and grab some gloves just to make this a bit easier. And what I'm looking for on my chains are to make sure we don't have any damages to the links and nothing's tangled up. I also like to make sure this is in the right orientation. So over here by this blue cable, we want to make sure that these flat part of our hooks are facing up, because that's going to be the side making contact with your tire. We also want to make sure that these red channels and hooks are furthest away from your tire and that we don't have any connections here in the center quite yet. And from here, we're just going to push everything to the relative sides and then push this behind our tire. Now this might be a little bit tricky if there's a lot of snow or if the snow is a little bit deeper, but you just have to do your best to throw it behind here. If there's a lot of ice, this should be a little bit easier because it'll just slide across. And once you get everything to its relative side, just make sure nothing got tangled up in that process. Mine's looking pretty good. And from here, we're just going to grab that blue cable, reach up, make the connection on the back side. That's just going to consist of pushing this metal block into this channel, just like so. It's going to be a little bit tricky to do this just because it is a tight fit underneath here. Once you've done that, we just push that back until it's behind our tire, and then make the connection on the front side. The front side is going to be a real easy connection. All you're going to have is this red hook and this red link. Now go into one another. And you'll notice this is hanging down pretty low. I'm just going to adjust this fit so this sits a little bit higher. We want to make sure it's fully making contact with the tire. And then we'll move down to the bottom. What we're doing for the bottom is taking this red channel, lifting up on that silver lever, and running this gray area through here. Once you have it go all the way through, you'll just apply some tension to it. Be a little bit tricky the first time. There it is. You just apply the pressure until this feels pretty tight. And then you're going to run these links through this red hook. With that run through, then we're going to take this to the furthest point that we can, making sure that this red hook is facing away from your rim. And then we're going to just grab it onto one of these links, go to the closest point that I can. So right here is probably going to be good. Once you have it on there, just make sure you give it a good pull test. And this is feeling pretty tight. Afterwards, you can repeat this process on the other side. And then what I recommend doing is actually pulling forward or backing up some. Just make sure you're still getting a good fit. And if you are, you can take it out for a ride. But this was just a look at the installation and some of the features of the Konig assisted tensioning tire chains on our 2024 Nissan Kicks. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.